Louisiana just introduced a brand new wholesaling law that is set to ban wholesaling real estate. Now, you might be like, oh my gosh, this is it for Louisiana. It's over. We're done. Well, not so fast, but there is a crazy law that Louisiana is proposing that, if passed, could essentially ban most wholesaling real estate activity per se. But honestly, there's ways around it. I'm not really too worried. Like us real estate investors, I mean, we do our own thing. But what I want to do today is show you this law and for you to track it, see what's going on. And honestly, this is a very weirdly written law. If you read it, it's like it's a ban, but like then it has all these stipulations where basically, I mean, you can technically do an assignment, no problem. It's absolutely ridiculously written. So let's go out here and break down this law and see what's going on. So this law, House Bill 468 from Representative Herbert, effectively is trying to ban wholesaling real estate, which again, I've said this many times and I'm going to continue to keep saying this. You cannot ban wholesaling real estate. Wholesaling real estate is essentially finding a property at a discount and profiting from it, right? So technically, if, in my opinion, right, if you go out here and purchase a property for below market value, fix it up and put it back on the market, technically that could be buying it wholesale, right, for cheap. Now, technically, most people think it's for the assignment of contracts. I've already talked about what happens when you try to ban the assignment. You would have to ban double closings. And I've never, ever seen one state effectively write a law that bans double closings. Let's try to see this one. So this Louisiana law tries to ban assignments and double closings at the same time. And to ban double closings, you would have to ban buying and selling a property for a profit, which is very interesting. So let's go out here and see the definitions and see what's going on here. Let's go break this down. So again, here's an Act 468. So again, here are the definitions. These are always a doozy. Residential property means real property consisting of one or not more than 4 residential dwelling units, which are buildings or structures, each which is occupied for intended for occupancy as single-family residences. Wholesaler means any person or entity that is either engaged or intends to engage in wholesaling of residential property. So wait. So a wholesaler is somebody that intends to engage. Again, this is another intention law, which again, I'm going to show you how to get around it. This is intention laws are the dumbest things ever. The definition of wholesaling here means securing, negotiating, or facilitating the purchase or sale of residential real estate with the purpose of transferring, assigning, or selling the contractual rights to purchase or any other equitable interest in the residential real property, which directly or indirectly for financial gain. The marketing for sale of the contractual rights or either equitable interest constitutes a presumption that the person or entity marketing or selling the rights or interests is engaged in wholesaling. Wholesaling includes but not limited to the following: entering into a contract to purchase residential real estate with the intent, again, the stupid intention, of assigning or selling the rights to another party before taking legal ownership. To another party for taking legal ownership, so that's basically doing an assignment. B, simultaneously consummating or closing 2 separate transactions relative to the same residential real property, including one transaction with the original owner and seller of the residential real estate property, and another transaction with the end buyer, without the intent to reside in, occupy, or otherwise materially improve the residential real property. Now, this effectively is not banning it, it's just giving its definitions. So let's see what happens if you are considered one of these wholesalers. Are you banned? Wholesale agreements. A wholesaler shall preeminently disclose all the following in writing to the seller of residential real property, which the subject of wholesaling before the execution of each related contract or written agreement. That the wholesaler has an intent to assign, this intent! Transfer, convey, or sell the wholesaler's contractual rights or equitable interest, the subject's residential real estate for a higher price than what is offered to the seller, or otherwise market the wholesaler's contractual rights or equitable interest for financial gain. The seller shall seek legal advice before signing each contract or written agreement relative to the seller's residential real estate property. So the seller should seek legal advice, okay. That the seller has the right to cancel any contract relative to the seller's residential real estate for any reason and without penalty for at least 14 days after the execution of each related contract. Well, yeah, okay, sure. So the seller can get out of the contract 14 days after the contract is signed if they are intending to assign it. Okay. A wholesaler shall not directly or indirectly do any of the following. Oh, I love rules. Guys, I love when the government gives me rules. It's just my favorite thing in the world. Please, more government, please govern me harder. Act or purport to act as an advisor, consultant in any manner. I'm not too against that. That the wholesaler is acting on behalf of the seller, whether person to a mandate, power of attorney, or otherwise. That's smart. Represent himself as holding any license or certification for being a member of a licensed profession without possessing a license. Oh, I am proudly not a realtor. Trust me, if I wanted to be broke, I'd be a realtor. Impose, file, record, or place any lien, privilege, mortgage, or other incumbents on the residential real property, which is the subject of wholesaling or otherwise cloud the title of such property. So no memorandums. I mean, I kind of see where they're getting at there. And if you're only intending to assign it, sure. I actually kind of agree with that one. You got to remember this too. If you are intending only to assign, you shouldn't really ever put a memorandum on a house because there's no liquid damages because you're technically never going to really purchase the property yourself. Engage in any deceptive, unfair trade practices involving real estate or unlawful real estate service agreements in violation. I mean, I'm actually not against that one too much. Any seller that enters into a contract or written agreement involving wholesaling has the right to cancel the contract for any reason for at least 14 days after the execution of the date, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get it. Any written contract or written agreement involving wholesaling shall conspicuously include the date and time in which the contract or written agreement should or may be canceled by the seller. Date and time shall be included within a notice, shall be located in the proximity of the space. And this is the information. You may cancel this contract before this date. Wholesaler cannot ask you to sign any cash sale, conveyance, deed, or document until your right to cancel has ended. See the attached notice of cancellation form. It is advised that you find your own attorney before signing the contract. If the law requires this contract to contain the entire agreement, you shall not rely upon any other written or oral promise. The commission shall be published and maintain a mandatory cancellation notice on the website, which includes the minimum language described. A wholesaler shall include the mandatory cancellation form, so we have more forms. Failure to do so of any of the required disclosure outlined in this section shall render the contract written agreement involving wholesaling immediately voidable and terminable at any time. Upon seller's written notice to the wholesaler of the seller's election to avoid and terminate. Okay, this is just all stupid. Upon termination, exercise in accordance with the subsection, the seller shall be entitled to full return of the earnest money deposit. Don't really see any issue there. Any earnest money securely... Wait, hold on. Upon termination, the seller shall be entitled to receive full return of the earnest money deposit involved in the wholesaling transaction. Wait. Upon a termination... Hold on. What? Am I smoking something right now? Wait, let's read this back. So it's saying, obviously, if we fail to do the disclosures, then they can get their EMD. That's fine. But it says here, upon seller's written notice to the wholesaler of the seller's election to terminate, the contract or written agreement shall be invalid and unenforceable. Okay, so if you're a wholesaler, you give them the right to cancel 14 days after you sign the contract. And if they say, hey, I went out after 10 days, that's fine. But what I'm trying to understand here, and this is where section 3 makes no sense to me, upon a termination exercised in accordance with the subsection, the seller shall be entitled to receive a full return of any earnest money deposit involved in the transaction. So if I go out here and write a contract with a seller, I leave $1,000 EMD and say you can get out of it within 14 days. They get out in 10 days, they get the $1,000. Any EMD or security involved in a wholesaling transaction shall be kept in either account of the seller or an escrow account maintained in the state with a federally insured financial institution, title company. Any violation shall constitute both an unfair trade practice, which is enforced by the Attorney General. Okay, this is actually like absolutely insane to me right now. So I get what they're saying here, but I need some clarity here, maybe from an actual lawyer in the comments, but it's saying here any EMD involved in the transaction shall be done in an escrow account, but it's saying upon termination, so termination from the seller's election, they're entitled to receive the full return of any EMD deposit. Do they mean wholesaler? Again, this is being written that the seller gets your EMD even if they cancel, which again, this is ridiculously written. This will be amended. I mean, this was just done 2 days ago. But basically, what you have to understand here is how this Louisiana bill works is we'll go out here and just House Bill 468 in Louisiana, pretty much saying that a wholesaler is somebody who has an intent to assign basically, or somebody who simultaneously closes with a buyer and a seller. And then obviously that is you, right? So it's saying if you close simultaneously with a seller and a buyer, then that is technically what we call as a wholesaler. Now, again, maybe I'm an idiot. I mean, I did graduate from college, I promise. What's the definition of simultaneously? Let's go out here and let's go to Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Simultaneous manner, or the same times concurrently. Simultaneous manner. Existing or occurring at the same time, exactly coincident. The same values are variables. So basically the definition is if the closing happens at the same time. So here's my question. Obviously we know a wholesaler is somebody who intends to assign. So if my intention is not to assign and it's actually to buy and close on the property, then again, I'm not a wholesaler. If I close at the same time with the seller and buyer at the literal same time, which again, not physically possible, then I'm not considered a wholesaler. There's no definitions here. So again, let me ask you a question. Let's talk about double closing. This technically quote tries to ban double closings. Not ban it, but saying if you do double closing, then you have to go out here and do a disclosure, right? So let me ask you a question. Again, let's use the word simultaneous. Again, I can't spell right, but you guys get the point. If I go out here and do closing number 1, and let's say this was on today's date, 3/11/26. So on 3/11/26, closing 1 at 9 a.m., I buy the property legally. I buy it from them for $100,000. And then at 9:05 a.m., I go out here and I sell it to my end buyer for $150,000. And I collect obviously my 50 grand profit. Now, is the 5-minute difference between closing 1 and closing 2, is that technically simultaneous? Again, maybe I'm an idiot. So let's go out here and ask ChatGPT because maybe I'm just stupid dumb here. If I close a property and buy it at 9 a.m. and sell it to another person or LLC at 9:05 a.m. in the state of Louisiana, is that considered, quote, let's see their definition. Let's just put the quote in here. Is that considered simultaneous? So according to AI, it is a simultaneous closing if you buy from 9 a.m. and then it's 9:05. So it's saying it's the same thing. But then I asked the AI, what's not considered simultaneous? It said, if you buy the property after 1 day, it's not simultaneous, which is interesting here. Okay. But it's saying here if it's fully funded independently. So let me ask another question. What if I buy a house from a seller at 9 a.m. with my own money, then go to a title company next door, and the buyer buys it from me at 9:30 a.m. with my own money I got from a funding source. So let's see what this is. In Louisiana, that is not considered a back-to-back closing. Let's see what if it's the same title company? It is not. So basically the AI is telling me, and again, I'm not an expert with this stuff, if you get your own funding from a hard money or a lending institution, then technically that is not a back-to-back closing. So again, I'm pretty sure what it's saying here is if you're using the buyer's funds, then yes, that is a back-to-back closing because they are kind of related to each other. But if you're using your own funds, so if you use a hard money lender or a private money lender, or someone's doing transactional funding, then it's not back-to-back, which is kind of funny here. Now, what is my recommending here? So again, what I tell you is you can do the same title company as long as you get funding, for the first closing, then the second one doesn't really even matter either. So the real question here is, what does this mean for wholesaling real estate? Are you screwed? Is this the end of the world? Well, honestly, the answer is actually pretty dang simple here. I would not recommend, okay, I will say do not, if this law passes, go out here and add those disclosures, because first and foremost, number one, you will lose your EMD. According to how the law is written, you will lose your EMD. So you put $1,000 in, you'll lose the $1,000, saying the seller gets your EMD, which is insane. A seller never puts up their own EMD. So you lose all your EMD. There's going to be people that are going to go after wholesalers and say, give me a $500 EMD. Okay, I went out, give me the $500. So that is absolutely ridiculous. Number two, a seller getting out in a 14-day window is absolutely ridiculous. So why don't you go out here and use some transactional funding and actually get some funding to go out here and fund your deal. Just look up transactional funding out there. There's going to be plenty of partners. I probably am in Louisiana going to work on something so we can get some good funding for you guys. I mean, maybe I start getting into the funding game. But I would go out here and get funding. I mean, it's going to cost you a little bit, but you won't be able to have to lose your EMD or your 14-day window. I mean, trust me, it's way more expensive to do that. And here's my best part about it. Maybe, and just maybe, your intention is only to fund. Here's the cool part. If you fund one deal from what I've seen, if you fund just one deal on a double closing, you now have a pattern of actually buying the property yourself. So if your intent now is to always do funding, but you end up, I actually decided I want to assign it this time, technically legal, and you're not legally a wholesaler from everything I read here. So what does this law do? What does this law mean? I think it is literally the dumbest law I've ever seen when it comes to wholesaling. Actually, no, sorry, I've seen dumber. This one's pretty ridiculous. I would just get a transactional funding partner. I will be more than happy to probably do it in Louisiana because this is just so stupid. But get a transactional funding so they can fund your double closings for you. So again, this never banned double closings. I'm just asking AI because I'm not an expert with this stuff. But if you do have your own funding and you close it 5 minutes later and the guy gets his funding the same day and they have their protections, I don't think you have any problems. So again, the definition of wholesaling real estate might change where it's not just doing only assignments. Maybe it's getting it under contract, getting funding, you fund the deal. Maybe you go out here and close it yourself. Maybe you fix and flip it and make money. That's considered wholesaling. I mean, think about Costco. Costco is literally called the Costco Wholesale Corporation. And all Costco does is they actually buy the stuff cheap and then they sell it. They actually own it. They don't assign it, and they're considered wholesalers. I mean, the definition of wholesale is selling a good to be retailed by others. So remember, if I go out here and fund a cheap, ugly house and then I give it and I sell it to a flipper on the MLS who's then going to retail it to an end buyer, technically I'm quote wholesaling. So I think the definition of wholesaling might change, funding or whatever, but I'm telling you right now, and I'm looking at everyone, and I'll say this to your face, there is zero chance that if you have no money, you can't go out here and get massively rich with wholesaling real estate. Send me a deal, I'll fund it. Like, we're gonna be Gucci. I promise you, I'm never gonna let you, the little guy, go out here and be just destroyed in this industry, regardless of what any other wholesaling influencer says. Again, Louisiana is a attorney state, so you still have to use attorneys. I think this is all fine. I don't think this is the end of the world of wholesaling. I think it's pretty dumb, but we're gonna see if this thing passes. There's probably gonna be a bunch of amendments, but you should know this if you're in the state of Louisiana. So guys, if you got any value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. Excellent update is coming, hopefully the end of this week. It's coming soon. And again, I appreciate it. Go to freewholesaling.com and learn how to wholesale real estate for free. I'll see you soon. This is Zach signing out. Have a blessed one.